Salutations, mortals and children of the night. I am the Vampire Otaku, and this video is showing light and appreciation for art books. We talk about manga a lot on this channel, and being the Vampire Otaku, I can branch out and talk about many other things. And the next thing that I would like to talk about are the beauty of art books. Being art books like for video games, for manga, art books for specific art styles like ink pen or watercolor paint, just art books in general, they're all amazing. So without further ado, let's get into my little collection of art books and let's talk about why they are important to me and why they're beautiful. Before we get into it, I'd like to know who's your favorite artist, what's your favorite art style, and if any of the art books that I show you in my little collection appeal to you, tell me about which ones. I love reading comments, I love replying, I love hearing about, your feedback and your ideas. It just makes content creating so much more fun. And also, please subscribe, helps me out a lot, ring the bell. And I basically make a video, at least one video a week, so be on the lookout for those. I'll try to come up with different ideas and just consistent content. With that being said, let's get into the books. First book I have is from one of my favorite mangakas, Inio Asano. He makes Dead Dead Demons, Destruction, and also Goodnight Pun Pun, Downfall, Girl on the Shore, a bunch of other amazing mangas. It's a little tiny, super cute art book. Get close. I love Japanese books, or art books in general, because they come with this little flap, this little extra part down here. I'll open it. And they also come with dust jackets, even if they're paperbacks, which is super cool, this little piece. So that's just really good attention to detail with Japanese mangas and Japanese books. Let's show you a little bit. I'm going to show a little bit of each book. I can't show too much because that's going to make the video ridiculously long. Got Goodnight Pum Pum right here. So this book is in Japanese. I'm not exactly sure what all the content entails, but it has a little bit of a lot of his stories in here. And it might even have some consistent stories in general. It probably talks about his art style and the way that he creates. But I just got it because I love Inio Asano and I just wanted more. His storyboards and whatnot. Here's the back of the book. If you ever see this, pick it up. It's really good, even though it's really small. It's just packed with great art. Next, we have an art book that I thrifted years ago. I probably had this book for over 10 years. Here's the spine. Here's the back. It's just a nice drawing book, like a guide to human faces. It's huge. It's super heavy for a paperback. It's got backgrounds. It's got portraits, sculptures, drawing older people, drawing younger people. It's such a cool art book. I'm probably gonna have it forever. Still lifes. This book is something that the main character Yaguchi in Blue Period would probably read. He loves doing still lifes. It's really good portraits in here, and it helped me a lot with hair and with proportions and whatnot. I've used this book a lot in my own personal drawings. Next, we have another Japanese book. This is for perspective and cityscapes and landscapes. This is more of a technique book and less of a showcase of skills. Same with the last book I showed. It's a technique book. It shows you how to, do portraits and, still lifes and inanimate objects. I haven't dug deep in this book. This book was a gift, but it's really good. Like the different perspectives and oh, something fell out. And pointillism and whatnot. Super nice. Here's the back of it. Here's a very slim spine. That's the front. front. Next we have another one of my favorite artists from the creator of Happiness, Flowers of Evil, Inside Mari. It's Shuzo Oshimi. Here's a very thin spine. This book is called Femme Fatale. Let's check it out. A lot of color work in here. He's probably one of my favorite manga artists because he does a lot of colored pencil, and colored pencil is probably one of my favorite mediums. So just beautiful use of color. Stunning. Gorgeous. Happiness is my favorite that he's done because vampires, of course. Why wouldn't it be? Some of the Flowers of Evil. That was a good story. That's what he's known for. But he's doing another story right now and people love it. This is one of the covers for Happiness. So pretty. Just the different colors with the colored pencil. Just gorgeous art. This is a really cool art book. It's reasonably priced. And it's made by Dimpa. I don't have a lot of Dimpa stuff, so glad to have it. Now we dig into video game art books. This is the art of Cuphead. This was a gift. And honestly, it's made by Dark Horse. It's a hardcover. It's beautifully made, stitched in the pages instead of glued. Very high quality. Very heavy. The art for this game is just incredible. It's so beautiful. The entire game is hand-drawn, the very old cartoon style, Western cartoon style. The worlds are absolutely beautiful. You see that in there. Got the sun setting a little bit. Try to get this video done before we lose light. See if I can find you some more beautiful art. The cartoons, they're just really cool. This dragon. Looks like a shiny Dragonite from Pokemon. Oh, it's so cool. And as I look at the art from this book, I remember the boss fights. This boss fight was a pain in the ass. Lost so many times. Yeah, this game, I appreciate it so much. Oh, here's another boss fight that was super difficult. You get attacked by candy, like candy canes and fudge sickles and peppermints, all kinds of crazy stuff. And then the inside of the book, very nice attention to detail. His Cuphead and his little airplane. Here's the back of the book. Here's a spine. Amazing art book. Let's get into some manga art. Another one of my favorite artists, Junji Ito. This is a staple. Even if you don't like his work, you can't deny his art. Here is the back of the book. Beautiful spine. It looks amazing on your shelf. Let's get into it. This man has done Uzumaki, and the inside covers are just stunning. You got Uzumaki here. I forget where this one comes from. Just amazing art everywhere. It's probably Tomie in there. It starts off with Tomie, which is super cool. Some spicy stuff in here too, so I gotta be careful. His color is just unbelievable. Very creepy. I'm gonna try to find some really creepy stuff. His iconic Tomie right here. Epic. We're done with Tomie. Let's get into Uzumaki. Epic. Some anthologies. His work is incredible. This is a must if you're a manga collector. Even if you don't like horror, it's understandable. This stuff is very graphic. I have the Akira box set. I just finished reading it. Expect a video on it very soon. With the box set, you get the art book. This art book is super cool. Comes with a dust jacket. Junji Ito had a dust jacket too. This one's cool when you take the dust jacket off. This is revealed on the inside. So it's kind of similar, but I thought it was a pretty cool effect. The inside doesn't have any art, just red pages. But the art that is inside of here is S tier, God tier. Like, this is incredible. Like the amount of detail in the anatomy and the proportions. Like, it's like biomechanical, just amazing shadows and highlights, textures, top rank line work. That was Tetsuya, he was going through it. Oh, look at this airplane. Like, just let me get closer so you can see all of it in its glory. Absolutely stunning. And this is really cool. You got Akira just sitting in his chair, the king of the world, or at least the king of Neo Japan. Sick. Turn the page and you just got like all this biomechanical. I'm a huge fan of biomechanical art. It's very detailed, very beautiful, and I think my favorite's probably gonna be Battle Angel Alita. But this is just incredible. Look at that detail. And Claymore is really close to this too. Like, Claymore's art is absolutely beautiful. Now we're moving on to more manga art books. This is probably my second most expensive art book. This is JoJo Go Go. This covers part 5. Yes, this is gonna be Golden Wind. It comes in a box, which is super cool. It's interactive, so I can take this and spin it and change their faces and whatnot. Super cool. Take the box off, and it's basically 3 art books in one. You have the illustrations in this one. Let's take it out. It's a hardcover book. Very long, very thin, very cool. The back of it is not very detailed, but if you look closely, I believe that that's the hand that's on Jotaro's hat. I could be wrong though. And this is the cover. You have part 5 characters, Trish and Giordano Giovanna. Alright, as you open the book, you get some really strange papers inside that probably protect. And then, it's difficult to show because it's such a wide book. But let's see if I can get the angle. On the inside of the book, you have some little details inside. Very beautiful blue. Very nice dust jacket, gloss finish. Alright, you got your boy Mista and Giordano. Araki likes to choose random colors almost, or just different colors for his characters in his art books, so they'll rarely have the same colors as the show. This one's in Japanese. There's a lot of extra goodies in it that I'm not exactly sure, but you got Rohan Kashibe, and you got characters from part 4, Diamonds Unbreakable. Let's show you the whole thing. Beautiful colors, super high quality. In my mind, definitely worth the money. In some of your minds, no. You know, we all have our vices, we all have the things we enjoy buying, and I'm a bibliophile, I love books. This is Josuke, some other characters in the back, part 4. Oh, all you Josuke, my apologies, not Josuke, Jotaro fans, him and all his badassness. Yeah, this art is incredible, just so much detail, so vibrant. Before I move on to the other books, let's show some other stuff. Here's another beautiful piece of art. Really cool random guitar. It's probably from Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's a character in part 4. That's the name of his stand. If you're a JoJo fan, you know you know. Alright, now I'm going to politely put this back. And it comes with 2 other paperbacks inside the stands. So he has individual art for just the stands. And then here's some extra stuff about Araki, his accomplishments, the random things he's done. Super cool. Wish it was in English, but it's fine. I'm just glad to have it. You open it up, it's red, and it says JoJo Go Go. And then you have a couple of stands. If I look closely, there are part 3, 4, and 5. So part 3, 4, and 5 stands. From left to right, you have Star Platinum, The World, Crazy Diamond, Killer Queen, Golden Experience Requiem, King Crimson, I think that's the name. So those are all the stands in the front page. And they have, you know, more art with the stands. You can do it like this, you can see it better. And this is like this, Crazy Diamond. I was today years old when I found out that Crazy Diamond Josuke's stand says Dora Dora instead of Ora Ora. So when I think about Dora the Explorer. So just a bunch of art. You got Muhammad Abdul's Yes, I Am! That's his stand. What is his stand's name? Magician's Red. You got Hermit Purple, Green Hierophant. These books are awesome. All the stands art towards the middle is going to be black and gray, but very detailed. It's a silver. It's more of a silver than a gray, which is super cool. You got Echoes Act 1 or Part 1. Super cool. Okay, now we have Araki. And of course, you got your boy Bucciarati in the middle as my favorite. If you look closely, it's like blue and gold. I actually thought this was blue and silver, but getting a better look at it, it's not the case. So it's in Japanese, but here's young Araki. It's super cool. Looks very 90s. Thank you. Have a nice day. Super cute. Yeah, it's just his achievements. It's all in a language that I can't read. All of his inspirations, you got Miles Davis and all kinds of other amazing music. You can tell because the stand names are all named by musical artists. His time in Italy, that was really cool. We have more crazy art. Get a little closer so you can enjoy it. Super cool. Next art book is another JoJo art book, but this art book is special. I believe this is the first and only JoJo art book that was published in English. This is the JoJo 6521. This is gonna cover, I think, parts 1 through 4. So from, not Battle Tendency, Phantom Blood, all the way to Diamond is Unbreakable. This one's kind of thin, but it's nice quality. It's decent size too. It's like 20 bucks, 25 bucks, $24.99. Not a bad deal. Let's check it out. So immediately when you open it, you get this beige color. Not my favorite, but you open it again and you get something cool. You get a giant poster. And not just, let me actually position it where you could really see it. Not just one giant poster. It's not giant, but I didn't expect it to be this size. You get, and it's two-sided, by the way, which is super interesting. Turn it that way. But that's just one side. Well, that's two sides to one poster, because on the other side, you get yet another poster. So this one's gonna be like all the villains, I believe, or some of the villains. Super cool. And the back of this one is vertical. So a very nice start to this art book. I'm never gonna hang this poster up or take it out, but I love having it here. It's a part of the charm for the art book for me. Now if we go all the way to the back of the book, it's almost a newspaper style paper, and it explains so much detail of the characters, the different stories that Araki was working on. It's just super cool. It talks about Araki's inspirations and how he felt writing the stories. We got a whole interview in here. Araki looking super suave, looking like a 007 agent. And then once you get back into the middle of the book, you have regular pages, or kind of a matte glossy page with more art, like part 1 and part 2, which is really cool. Part 1 and part 2 had such different art from all the other parts that I really enjoy seeing it. It's like an old style of manga, almost like a Speed Racer kind of Tezuka kind of style, Osamu Tezuka. I like this art book a lot. When I first got it, I was a little underwhelmed, but I'm just glad that I can read a lot of it. And that's super cool. We got the same image from the other books, so sometimes you get things that carry over. That's fine, because there's a lot of new content in this one, and I can actually read it. Super cute. You got Jotaro and you got Iggy. The Fool. Wow, and you got the cards, because part 3 was all about the tarot theme. Each of their stands were named after a tarot card. The Magician, the Fool, the World, the Will was in there at some point. Super cool. And then after that, they were named after Egyptian gods and things of that nature. Now, shifting gears, we are going to dive into art books that are art styles and art techniques. I need to shed a lot of light on this one because there is a hashtag and a movement called Inktober. This is the man that started Inktober, and he really doesn't get enough credit for it. People take his idea and run with it, but Alfonso Dunn, Inktober creator, had to get his book. I'm a big fan of ink pen art, and he is incredible with it. If you look, those are all really interesting pen strokes that create different values and textures and shadows and whatnot. Super cool. With this gorgeous flower. And here's the back of the book, super pretty. He explains shapes and values and different ways to create textures. This art book is incredible. If you like pen art, definitely pick this book up to get you inspired and to give you ideas and techniques. Next, we hop into another art book that's another one of my favorite art styles and mediums. It's going to be color pencil. Color pencil is really underrated to me, and you can have really beautiful effects that look like paint without the mess, without having to really mix colors in the same way. Still mix colors, but it's a totally different thing. And I really enjoy color pencil to the point where I'd rather use it than paint. Paint's beautiful, paint's amazing, but color pencil is my jam. This is super cool. You have amethyst, my sparkling jewel, being able to create the highlights and the different values and colors inside of the, just using a monochromatic color, because honestly, I mean, there's a little bit of blue in there, but it's mostly just using a purple and just letting white be your highlights. For all you Steven Universe fans out there. This is super cool. Being able to create a metallic effect with your colored pencils. Very interesting. But wait, there's more. More colored pencils. I really like this book. It's very clean. Like, I fell in love with colored pencils when I saw this book because I really thought that that was an oil painting. It's incredible. And the process is so similar. You sketch it out first, and then you just, the color is so overwhelmingly rich. It depends on what color pencils you use. Most popular ones are probably gonna be, what are those colored pencils called? Prismacolors, yes. Prismacolors are really cool because they have a wax base, so they're very creamy, they're very soft, they're very easy to blend, and they're pretty forgiving. And with a white Prismacolor, it really lightens up your other colors. Look at the fur detail of the dog, just super nice, very smooth, great techniques. And now I have 3 more books to show you. They're my favorites. I kind of wanted to save them for last. My favorite video game developer, Suda51, Grasshopper Manufacturer, the punk rock game developer, the badass, the creator of No More Heroes, Lollipop Chainsaw Massacre. This book is in Japanese, unfortunately, so a lot of it I can't read. Some of it's in English, which is super cool, but most of it's in Japanese. Shadows of the Damned. This is basically a celebration of all his games. He has a free game in here. This one's super cool before I talk about the free game. So Shadows of the Damned, here we go right here. Main character Carlos. So fun fact, they had a voice actor for Carlos set up, but for some reason I don't remember, he just couldn't make the cut. His accent was too thick and too hard to understand. So they got the legendary Steve Blum to do his voice. He was excellent. This game is dark, really funny. It wasn't what Suda wanted, but that's the cool thing about Suda. Like, he was kind of sad about it, but he just pushed forward and strived harder to make games that he really wanted. I love him for that. A lot of people got upset they would have, you know, not want to move forward. But this guy was like, no, I gotta keep going. I love that punk rock attitude. One of his first games that was brought here, it came out for the GameCube at first, Killer 7. I think it had a PS2 port. It wasn't good. The GameCube one was better. Yeah, it's Suda's crowning achievement. It's got a game called Silver Case. But my all-time favorite is No More Heroes. I cosplayed as this guy, Travis Touchdown. Love this game. Incredible. This art book is great. Oh, it's got a little slip in the bottom of it. Super cool. This is my favorite book in my entire collection. I spent an egregious amount of money on this book and I regret nothing. This book means the world to me. This is my favorite artist of all time, Ayami Kojima. She is the creator, the mother of Dracula for the video games. And Alucard, it's a beautiful hardcover too. She has some of the most stunning art that I've ever seen. She just has a softness to her characters, a very feminine look in their faces, but very fierce and ferocious. Gothic, dark. It's a beautiful blend. She did so many different art styles in here as well. Like, she did Frankenstein and a whole bunch of other characters. This book is so good that honestly, it deserves its own video. And if I feel like it, I probably will. That gorgeous black and white work. The textures, the line work, the shadows. Oh, here's a Frankenstein. Very nice. Got the horse. There's some spiciness in this book, so I have to be careful. You got London After Midnight, just all the horror stuff. I didn't even notice this. Every time I see this book, I see new things. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. We got super cool stuff right there. You know, it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Oh, this is cool. We have Alucard right here. Beautiful. Amazing art. Here's a pretty underrated Castlevania game. We have Castlevania Curse of Darkness. If you watch the Netflix adaptation, this is Hector at the top right here with the gray hair. He looks pretty similar to the Hector in the show, but there's a character in here. Oh, right below Dracula right here, you have Isaac. Isaac was not black and he was not bald, but I appreciate the Isaac from the Netflix adaptation because he was really badass. This Isaac is really maniacal, really petty. There's no peace in his character. He just wants to do crazy stuff. Oh, here we go, some more Symphony of the Night. You got the gorgeous Alucard, his dad, Dracula. You got Marie. I think you got Richter Belmont. Marie has the power to control animals or something like that. Super cool to see. We got Vlad the Impaler. It's amazing art in here, top tier. Last, but certainly not least, we have William Blake. Has my same initials, WB, which is really cool. He was my favorite poet. I love the dark poetry that he creates. He's got a series of poems called Hell's Proverbs. Those are amazing. I get a lot of my poetry, my poetic inspiration from William Blake. A lot of people like Edgar Allan Poe. I like William Blake. I didn't know that he was an exceptional artist. So I got this book as a gift. I have his poetry book as well. Maybe one day I'll read some stuff from it. That'd be a fun YouTube video, I don't know. That's the spine, pretty bland. The back, some of his amazing art. Let's open it up. And when you open it up, you just get like a black, paper. Nothing too fancy. But the first page, super interesting, kind of religious. William Blake is the opposite of religious. He's very anti-religious. And he was alive in the 1800s or 1700s? 1700s, 1800s. It was taboo and very strange for someone to not be religious or not have any faith and believe in women's rights. He was radical. He was against everything that was going on at the time. And he's my hero. The muscle proportions, absolutely stunning. You have a self-portrait of William Blake. handsome man. Got the serious look in his eyes. Everybody point to this guy. He doesn't like anime. He doesn't like manga. Everybody point to this guy. That's what I think of when I see that picture. The shame. Here's one more really cool picture. Or piece of art. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's a little bit different from manga, but I love books. Bibliophile. So, with that being said, the name of this channel is Vampire Otaku. I am foaming at the mouth, frothing at the mouth to talk about vampires, talk about my favorite author, Anne Rice, talk about Octavia Butler's Fledgling. I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna read more of the Vampire Chronicles. Let's just talk about vampires, you know, our favorite vampires, our favorite vampire movies. I'm just really excited to dig into more content and to keep consistent with the content that I have. There's so much manga back here to read and talk about. I'm currently reading Blank Canvas right now. I like to read something wholesome after reading something dark or action-packed. I just like to have a flow. I don't like to read one chaotic thing and then read another chaotic thing and another chaotic thing. I'd like to read something wholesome and then something dark, or something wholesome and something drama-filled. I just need like a difference in each thing that I read. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I look forward to replying to comments and making more content for you all to watch. Peace.